Hey, Supernatural Explorers! Welcome back to my wrap-up show on my distance study of Site 7, Episode 3. If you don't know what I'm talking about, because this is your first episode, you kind of got to go back and listen to Episode 1 and 2. Honestly, I don't have anything else to say. I say it all on the show. I'll just give you a preview. Next episode, I'm going to be going to Pandemonium from a distance twice. And then I'm going to go out into the field twice for the first time. First time out into the field. So those will be the upcoming episodes. Till then, please enjoy my wrap-up distance summary of Site 7. Hey everyone. I'm really excited about tonight, even if my voice doesn't sound excited. I just got done meditating, gotten into a certain zone. So if I get too emotive, it can pull me out. But I'm just, trust me when I say I'm very excited to be here. In the previous episodes, I was talking about the things that connect us all. The natural and the supernatural. Things like the biomagnetic field, gravity, the quantum field. If there's a field that even supports the quantum field, and if there's a field that supports that field, like there's something that connects us all. So I did 2 episodes, and now with the third one, when I finish this one, I'm going to send Tim all my findings and see what he thinks. So I like science every now and again. What I'm doing is new to me. I have confidence in my gifts because I practiced them for 3 years, and they've shown me to be pretty accurate. But still, there's like can I get one more reassurance? Almost like the kid in me. Can I get one more reassurance before I send this off? I haven't been for a walk in the woods in a while. So me, my wife, and my friend go walking. As we're walking in the woods, I start thinking to myself, I bet you like nature is another something that connects us. Nature. We all come from nature. We all live in nature. I had this thought. So with that, I was thinking, well, if nature connects us all, then nature is somehow involved with Sasquatch and whatever else seems to come out in nature and sometimes disappear back into nature, seemingly. So I was thinking, if nature connects us all, I figure, wow, if I've been connecting with all these things in Site 7 and Site 7 itself, then they're all connected to nature. I'm connected to nature now. I'm in nature right now. So I asked nature, I'm like, please, while we're out on this walk, give me some kind of sign. We're about to do the third show. Just comfort me. give me a sign. And as we're walking, if a leaf fell, I was like, what was that? And then I was like realizing how to relax. Like you don't ask for a sign and then look for the sign. You ask for it, forget about it, and then you know when it's presenting itself. So I remember that. That's like a basic rule of sign following. I remember that. I stopped watching listening for every leaf fall. And I'd say we're about 80% into the walk, so leaning towards wrapping up the walk. And all of a sudden I hear a scurrying coming towards us. And I look, and it's 2 chipmunks, and they're squeaking happily, like running around, playing with each other. And they run by us playing. Now, if I've seen even 5 chipmunks in my entire life, that's a lot. So it's 1 every 10 years. And if I've ever seen a chipmunk, it's usually been by itself. It's on the edge of something, running to the edge of something else in a scared fashion or something like that. So, I don't know if you remember from episode 1, I think it was area 1 of Site 7. First thing I checked, I think I said, wow, it feels very light here, and I feel like light spirits are running by me like chipmunks playing, or I said something like that. It was the gist of playfulness and kind of small, and I think I said chipmunks. So I had this physically happen to me when I was having a mental conversation, a heart-to-heart with nature. That was a good sign. I was very happy. I was extremely grateful for that. And so it's with that type of excitement and a little sense of self-assurance from Mother Nature herself that I come into episode 3. So here's what I'm going to do. This time I have most of the spreadsheet filled out with the top 3 strongest spirits, and then the 9 areas labeled, and then what I felt each day in each area. This is the first time I'm going to have the information in front of me, because from the second episode, I was forgetting some things from the first episode, and that was only like 3 days or so. I tend to live in the moment and don't carry a lot of stuff from previous moments, it seems. Anyway, this time I'm going to have the spreadsheet in front of me with the idea of let's try and make sense of this all. I felt the same things in some areas. That's easy to make sense of. But what does it mean when I feel different things each day? So with the list in front of me, I'm going to revisit the top 3 strongest spirits, the 9 areas, with the notes in front of me, reconnecting with the energy, writing what I feel, and trying to make sense of that and the 2 days prior that I did this. And then all that goes to Tim for him to investigate, look at his leisure, and see what he thinks. And I'll just give a heads up on the next show. I already know what I'm doing. This, I'll have a part 4 hopefully someday, and it'll happen when it happens. That's the way stuff happens organically, and that's the way I like it to happen. What I'm going to go to next, because as I said, I wasn't formally into this stuff. So yeah, following Tim in that he went to Pandemonium. We have that synchronicity about the Sasquatch activity, and I have to go check that out in the area he checked out. I have to. I don't know of other places. After the Pandemonium episode I'm going to do, I'll get on the internet and look up places that are closer to me that are haunted or activity or da-da-da-da. I'll distance check them. And if I feel a strong amount of activity, I'll go there and see what happens. If I go to connect with a place and I don't feel anything, I'm not going there. I'll even blame it 100% on me. I just didn't jive with the area, so I didn't feel it. So if I don't feel something in a place, I'm probably not even going to mention it, because I don't want it to discount an area that has activity. So if a place doesn't have anything, I'm just not going to mention it. Does that accentuate the positives, eliminate the negatives? I feel like that's related. I'm just going to report on the places I feel stuff and have shows on the places where I feel stuff when I go to, and not mention the places that I didn't feel anything. That seems like a good set of values for the show. Okay. Nothing more to say. I've been excited about this since I did episode 2 of my second visit to Site 7. So here we go. Get my laptop up here. Alright, here we go. Alright, I have the last 2 visits before me and everything. Just takes a little adjusting. Instead of just chilling in my meditation space, I'm trying to balance a laptop on my lap so I have it ready to type. So I don't have to go back and do double work. I want to get this to Tim tonight. Alright, here we go. Spirit A, please, meaning please give me the strongest spirit that resides in or often frequents Site 7. Please. Same energy. Same really powerful, peaceful, calm, filling my room. I got the sense that it was even expecting me, because there was like, before I even got the words out, how it usually happens if I ask to be connected to something, it can take, sometimes it can happen in 1, 2, 3 seconds. Sometimes it can take 30 seconds, and I just have to be patient, keep my mind still, keep myself still, because I don't know all that's going on to make the connection happen. I have theories about it, but I don't know for sure. Why I say it was expecting me is because I didn't finish saying connect me to what I was saying. I didn't finish saying before I went in the sentence I was saying, and I started to feel it already connecting with me. So felt even my first glimpse of a smile, whatever, if you could feel the emotions of a smile. It's like your energy's steady, but then it lifts a little. It gives it not slight, short of a tingle, but it lifts a little. It's like an energetic little smile I got. So imagine you met someone for the first time, and maybe you're a little unsure of them at first. Then you met them the second time, and now you're like, all right, I'm still not sure, but I'm used to this person now. They're used to me. And then the third time you meet them, you actually find that you like the person. Not that you didn't like them in the first place, but you find like, well, yeah, you know what? I like this person. And it gives a little smile. Like, I feel like me and this energy have gotten to know each other. And again, if this is the host, the leader, or just the strongest energy in Site 7, it's got to be nice to go there. It's got to be something. I imagine if you're this big in size and in that much command of your energy, that people who come around you who don't keep the same kind of energy are probably an annoyance. Probably very patient. Feels like a patient, strong energy. But if you don't have your mind still, you're calm, you're peaceful, anything off balance is gonna be a slight, like, even if it's a scratch to them, or even a little ant bite or something, it's gonna be something to them. I don't even know why I bring that up. Oh, so I bring that up because if you're gonna go Sasquatch, and meditation, the practice of meditation, I believe, is a good enhancer. I wouldn't call it a prerequisite, but anything that puts you in a meditative state, I imagine, would be good for Sasquatching. And when I thought I was going down the UFO route before the Sasquatch synchronicity, Dr. Stephen Greer and his meditation for kind of calling out to UFOs and ETs and then having them appear with a pretty good frequency, I was into that. I thought that was cool. I thought it made sense. And then when things pointed to Sasquatch, which I was totally great with that, I was very happy about that, I'd already been thinking in the lines of reaching out with your mind, your spirit, your energy, however you like to think of it, to UFOs, to ETs. I was already practicing that in that model. So then when my focus was shifted to Sasquatch, I started thinking along that model, like, when people go to an area, why not do a modified version of Stephen Greer's meditation? He gets into a state that's a beautiful state, peaceful, loving, one calling out for cooperation, that kind of state, and everyone gets in that state before they try to connect. I don't know. Maybe that is something everyone's doing. But if it's not something people are doing and they thought they'd have more experiences than they're having, or the experiences are a little off and they'd like them to be happier, that seemed like a good practice to get into, in my opinion, my 2 cents for what it's worth. So, Spirit a friend, would be happy to meet up one day in person. And I imagine, if you're anyone who's sensitive to nature at all, that when you felt this entity, if you were in a good space, you would feel yourself in an even better space, more solidly and balanced. And you'd know that it wasn't you, but that was coming from something that was approaching you. And people who are paying attention would most likely feel Spirit A before they saw them. Or might only feel them and not see them, but have no doubt that they felt something that was with them. That's how powerful Spirit A is. I'll do the typing later. Yeah, one day, my wish list, PC with a light-up keyboard. I can't type in the dark, so I'm going to have to re-listen later and type later, so this is probably going to go out tomorrow. Besides the point. All right, let's get to it. Let's stick with the fun stuff. You don't want to hear about me typing. Spirit B. Wow, rude. Let me go back to Spirit A, say thank you, and then... if you're going to seriously get into paranormal, supernatural, spiritual stuff, I highly recommend learning Reiki. And this isn't a sales pitch. I just heard the other day of someone who so wants people to learn Reiki that he teaches them the introductory one free. I don't think he does it to then sell the second level and the master level. I think he does it because he wants everyone to learn Reiki. For the past few years, if anyone asked me to teach them Reiki, I was happy to teach them Reiki. And if someone gave me a gift, I was grateful. In my memory, I know I wasn't seeking it, so I'd be surprised if I asked anyone for money. So if you want to learn energy work, there are people out there who I believe would be happy to teach you just because your sheer curiosity about it and your intention of it. I think if you have the right intention and the right curiosity, I think anyone would teach you who saw that in you. Again, in my opinion. But the feeling of the energy, the sensitivity to energies, and if you don't want to, Reiki's weird for you, becoming more and more sensitive to your own emotions. Emotions are energies inside you. You become more in tune with your own emotions, you can become more in tune with everything. So meditation, learning Reiki, getting more in touch with your emotions, 3 ways to explore this field in a greater way maybe than some people are. Perhaps. I don't know what everyone's doing. Oh, yeah. Within all that, I was saying thank you and goodbye. To Spirit A, who I think finds me, I want to say first, slightly amusing, and second, a very close second, slightly strange. Okay, Spirit B. Second most powerful spirit at Site 7 currently. That lives there and or frequents it off. Is this the same one? I didn't look at I'll be honest, I didn't look at the last 2, and so I didn't know who I was visiting, but I feel like it's the one I identified. ET-like. And why did I say ET-like? Because about the size of me, but with this time it only feels 3 times more powerful than my energy. And I can feel the energy in front of my heart, which is in a focused fashion. Interesting energy pattern. I've never felt this on anyone. Energy out in front of the heart, but almost like in the shape of a pyramid in a very focused fashion. It's very interesting. Slightly off balance today. I feel bad. So this time, unlike the last time, and I want to look. Human-like size, same spirit from the other day. That's 3 for 3. That's really exciting, the consistency of what's going on there. I like it. I wanted some consistency. If I did 3 different visits and nothing was the same, and I just gave Tim a bunch of goobly-gop, at least I'm like, here's some consistencies. Consistencies can be more reasonably, I think more reasonably understood. This I see what he's feeling here. This is pretty consistent. I'll say it that way. Yeah, because if it's all over the map, someone might look and be like, okay. I think consistencies, at least for me, speak to being worthy enough to be investigated further. Okay. So, Spirit B, same one. Let me help Spirit B out. Spirit B's having a slightly off day. Why do I say that? Because I remember his energy just the last time was very spot on, right? Is that what it was? Powerful energy focused in front. And then where was that spirit? Spirit B was in area 4 last time. Feels at one with the area, so area feels same as Spirit B felt. And they were both, I think, human-like in size, 4 times the power, energy focused in front. I didn't write balanced, but I think I remember it was balanced. So this now it only feels 3 times as strong and slightly shaky's even strong, but a version of shaky, a light version of shaky energy, which is diminishing as its energy a little. So this one had a day, so let's help it out. Yeah, when you connect with energy, they feel like magnets. Like 2 magnets that oppose each other in some way. That's what it feels like. But you can feel the force between them even though you can't see anything between them. So I'm feeling like sways. Subtle sways. They have some power to them. Subtle sways that are becoming calm or not swaying as much. This is so fascinating. So I think every time I felt the spirit, the energy was in the chest area. I think every time. I just felt the energy when the sways became stiller And this pretty much the second they balanced and they became still, I felt a lot of my energy rush down my body and into my feet, like populating the energy from my feet up to my heart in a grounding fashion. Now, you could say, if there is a process that makes one become higher in energy, attuned to nature such that it can disappear into nature, you could argue that maybe you'd feel that in your heart somehow. I could see people making the argument for that. The chakra color for the heart is green. Much of nature is green. I think everything's a puzzle for us to figure out, honestly. If everything comes from the spiritual, then everything's got the spiritual in it. And then everything has, if spirit doesn't work for you, everything has intelligence in it. Intelligence comes up and through. Whatever you want to call it. It shows itself. And you figure out the puzzle in coincidences. You figure out the puzzle in, that's green, the chakra's green. I wonder if there's a reason for that. So, but you could get that, like, a peaceful love and nature being a good thing. I think people would think of nature as a good thing. Nature left alone and not polluted nurtures us, sustains us, feeds us, gives us. So you could think nature as a loving thing, so you connect with it in your heart, right? So it sounds like most things aren't fully seen in Sight 7. You see eye glows. Stuff happens. Stuff appears seemingly. That wasn't there 15 minutes ago. Tim's left gifts from where? And so you can imagine if how would it happen that a spirit would go from that realm to this realm to that realm. Hypothetically, of course, if it held its energy all in its heart in a very focused fashion, so focused, like it felt like a pyramid, and it held that vibration and it learned how to call all the other energy that's not being used in its being to that position, such that all of the physical energy too vibrates and it disappears into nature because it becomes one with nature through its heart. Isn't that nice? So, if it wanted to come visit, if it's, I'm not saying this is, say this is Tim's gift giver. Let's say, it's nighttime, I'm going to go set out a gift for Tim. And to set out a gift for Tim, he's got to come here. Or she's got to come here. So it takes its energy that's in its heart and lets it fall into its legs, down into its legs, and populate its grounding nature, and it becomes more grounded, and the energy drops, and the vibration drops, and suddenly it appears on our realm. That's pretty cool. And energetically, from an energetical standpoint, that would make sense. The root, the grounding, all that. Now, why was this guy off balance? The sense I got, putting everything together, he or she doesn't come here that often. It obviously likes the area, but how many different planes of existence are there in what would be called this area? There seems to be at least one other plane of existence that has light shines and stuff come from it, light glows. So I feel like when it dabbles in this, it throws it off a little. And think about it. If you're on a plane of existence, I want to call it higher because I think, that what the Sasquatches can do. Yes, and I am calling Spirit a Sasquatch like spirit. And that is powerful, balanced, intelligent, kind, and that's the way I've experienced them. If I've ever experienced one from a distance, it's always been in that fashion, which is lovely. I like that. Yeah, so if they're on a higher vibration and they come to this vibration, or you know what, let's not even, if you want to even call it a different vibration, they're on a vibration and then they come to this vibration and it's just different. We don't even have to call it higher and lower. If you go to a different vibration, it's different than you used to. It's like going from the land into cold water. It's a different thing. You don't just walk in without it shaking you up a little bit. So, and I can only tell in the moment. I'm going to guess that this spirit had just come back from visiting Site 7 physically, and I'd just come back and was back into its spirit self, and that's why it was like still adjusting. Got a little tired from the journey, was still adjusting from the journey, and once it was adjusted, I think its energy dropped to show me like, oh, this is what I did. Like to fill in the picture for me. Again, it's just my belief. This stuff comes into my head. All right, Spirit say. This one's a 50-50 chance. first try around, Spirit C was like a wispy light. I think I called it The-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp. I don't know all the terms. But I saw a white light in my chest and then felt a wispy, calm, balanced energy. That's very nice. That's what I felt the first time. The second time, it was the Trickster Spirit was the most powerful because he had balanced out, learned some things, grew a little from last time, which is nice. That was 3 days. The smart spirit there. I met him as a trickster. I'll give him a different name eventually. Well, he could be trickster in a fun way. That could be a positive thing. So maybe we'll keep it trickster. It was the third most powerful spirit the second time around. So now who's it going to be? The Wisp was a lot lighter. And yeah, light is powerful, but it's only powerful for people who know how to tap into the light. If we're talking about the physicality of an area, something that is more physical would have more power than light in that area, in that realm. You can't flash a flashlight at someone and hurt them unless you shine into their eyes. But you can be physical with people, so it's physicalness that makes more power in this realm, the potential to be physical. And so when the Trickster Spirit was balanced, it was, yeah, of course it was more powerful. The Wisp felt wispy, the size of a medicine ball. The Trickster Spirit felt 1.5 times as powerful as people feel. So like a notch up in power from most people. So this is an area that you go to and you be very respectful at. And you don't mess around. Because if you mess around, you're messing around with some serious characters. And they all feel good. But you got a trickster who, I'm sure if he feels justified in his tricksterness, can mess with you pretty good. I don't think anyone would outright hurt you in this area unless it was a total misunderstanding or you were being totally disrespectful to the point of harm. Otherwise, I feel very positive about this area. Alright, let's see who's in the third spot now, and I'm going to bet it's our trickster. And you know what? If he feels really good, I'm going to upgrade him to Practical Joker. Isn't that like more... Seems nicer than trickster. Practical Joker. Alright. I'm having a hard time describing what I'm feeling because it feels so subtle. A very subtle physical feeling. You know, the Wisp felt light and I saw light. I don't see any light. It's maybe even a tad darker than I was seeing before I connected with this energy. Alright. I think this is our friend, and I'm upgrading him to Practical Joker, or I'll find some other word that's really nice. But this talks about that someone likes to joke around, to talk to where he came from, and as he evolves, maybe we'll even change the name again. When I came in, I felt it was a very, almost like a pea-sized light in my third eye. But it almost felt like even in my mind, almost like my mind was imagining what my third eye would feel like. That's a very hard one to describe, the difference between... I know what my third eye is. I know what my third eye feels like. I usually feel the energy right between my eyebrows, like right in the middle. That's where I feel my third eye. If my third eye's heavy, it feels like an anvil sitting right on that spot on my nose. So that's where I feel it. I know people draw the dots or point to the middle of their head, like maybe a half inch or an inch above that spot, but that's not where I experience. That's not where I feel it. That's where I feel it, I'll say physically. That's when I feel it energetically. This almost felt like above that and back more, almost like it was a projection, almost like it heard of the concept of the third eye and could almost feel it, but was definitely imagining it. I don't know why someone would do that. I think it's that the energy was balanced and that the energy had a lightness to it. I'll take it as a positive step forward. This energy is no joke. It came from where it came from. It was the way it was, but I have to say in 1 week, this energy has evolved. And yeah, how do I know it's the energy? Oh, because then after a while the light went away. I felt the energy fill out into my body, and it felt 1.5 times stronger than people felt, and I saw stuff get a shade darker, and I think I mentioned about the stuff getting a little darker when I was connected to this energy. But it feels like the power and the quality of what was formerly the trickster and now the fun practical joker. There's some teaching about recognize when you come across a gem and then just focus on that. Something like that. Like know a good thing when it comes along. We just happen to come upon this very motivated and focused spirit at a time when it was at a rough patch, where it was being trickstery in a rough way, and we got to witness it learning how to hold itself differently, liking that and recognizing for what it was, and in learning to hold on to that, even looking at like what's next, what can I explore. And I saw some light, so it's going from where it is to believing in, looking forward to, and envisioning the light and what that might be like. And it was only subtle, but if you're in darkness, a little subtle light is a lot. So go this spirit. All right. Area 1. The first time felt neutral. Oh, that's when the chipmunk-sized wisps were playfully zipping by. That was Area 1 first time. Area 1 second time, which is the north. Balanced, powerful, and somehow serious, on guard, no activity of its time. So there was some change in the environment of Area 1. It felt safe enough that little chipmunks were running around playing. And the second time, it felt a little on lockdown, a little on guard, a little serious. So I wonder, were people drinking beers in Area 1 that night? What was going on? Not that alone. Look, you can go to an area and drink beers and be respectful, and you can go to areas and drink beers and not realize where you are and be loud and disrespectful and leave your trash there and like that. I imagine if you go to just chill out with your friends in a fun, good-humored, and respectful fashion, that chipmunks can still run around and the area can still be neutral. But go there another way, and I would imagine that an area could switch from playful to on lockdown, like, these kids are back again. I hope I was never like that to anyone, but I'm sure I was like that at different points in my life because I just didn't know any better. So I'm glad I know better now. Let me go back to Area 1 and see what it feels like. The area feels calm, peaceful, balanced, but it almost feels like it's resting. How do I describe that? I almost get in... I don't see it, but I can... Yeah, it's like, what do you call... I've seen things with my eyes closed as if my eyes were open twice. I've seen colors a lot more than anything else, like lightness, darkness, and shades of colors I can see with my eyes closed sometimes. What would be the level below seeing something, but it's like you see it in your mind. You don't see it physically. I guess that's your mind's eye. Alright, so in my mind's eye, I had a picture of me, my head down, laying like I was taking a nap on a desk. So, that's such an interesting visual. So the area is, if you were sleeping like that at a desk, it's almost like, that wouldn't be a heavy sleep. That'd be like, you're at a desk, so you're at a task or something, but you're taking a break from your task. So yeah, it feels like the area is just like, I had a long day. Maybe there's a lot of activity. The good thing is it feels balanced. It feels like it's resting. I wonder what would that be like to walk into an area like that. I wonder if people say when they go camping, I was all fired up. I had a lot of energy, and then as soon as we set up the campsite, I got really tired and I had to sleep. That would be this energy. That ever happened to you? No doubt you walked into a place that in itself was resting, but was powerful, and you walked into it and you were like, wow, I'm going to rest. That's how I imagine that happens. All right. That was Area 1. I'm glad Area 1's not on lockdown anymore. feeling better and getting a little rest. Good for you, Area 1. Alright. Area 2, the Northeast. First time around. Area feels neutral with a few melon-sized orbs that have dim, subtle light. Oh yeah, I remember that area. So, neutral area, but that it had some orbs who were trying to be more but weren't quite. Bright light but subtle light. So that's a nice area. That's on the positive side. Second time, some wispy balls of light here. Area feels subtle in energy and slightly off, cautious. So that's interesting. Area 1 and Area 2 next to each other. Area 1's on lockdown the second time around. And this one's slightly off cautious the second time around, but still has those wispy light balls here. The light balls are in the same spot. They must like this area. I hope they're here again. Let's see what we find. Area 2, distance visit number 3, the Northeast. This is really interesting. This area feels like it's resting too, but has like an exhausted feel to it. A light exhausted feel, but enough of a feel like I felt that. If you were ever exhausted and you just closed your eyes and you felt what exhaustion felt like in you, I imagine that energy would have a certain signature to it, a certain quality to it. It's Columbus Day today. The person who lived there have family over, or a lot of people walking by this area today. Why does this area feel tired so far? I don't feel any wispy anythings. I don't feel any activity. So, I wonder what I'm going to find the rest of the place. So far the place is tired from a long day. And it was nice out. It was a nice day out. I got to check the papers, see what was going on. I know we're just on the end of a full moon. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I would have been curious to feel it yesterday. Would things have felt even more off? Is it related to the moon in some way? I know it's some kind of moon in Aries. I don't know. Somebody knows what that means. Let's go to Area 3. First time around Area 3, which is the East. Very quiet, normal feeling area. No spirit activity. And I remember saying the first time that's where I would camp initially because it felt just normal, calm, peaceful. Second time around, visit 2 to Area 3. It was balanced, quiet, normal, no activity. So this is a very steady area. I hope after filling the other 2 areas, taking a little nature snooze, that Area 3, however it is, even if it's resting too, feels balanced, quiet, normal, and not heavy in any way. So I hope Area 3 is doing okay. Let's check it out. Wait. I gotta go back to Area 2 and see if I can help out Area 2's exhausted energy feeling. That is only right. I'm new to doing this kind of format, talking, doing a show, doing my work, so I'll learn not to leave unbalanced energy behind eventually. Alright, the energy's balanced now. It still feels tired. The energy's not going to be able to magically alter. Sometimes rest is rest. You need rest. So, but balanced now, not that like off balance, exhausted feeling. Now it's just like a balanced tired. I think that's the best that's going to happen there. Okay, let's go to Area 3, the East. I can't even believe I'm going to say this. I feel connected with the area, and this is exactly what I felt. A slightly pulsating energy in my head, not unlike I would feel if I had a medium headache. It's not a light headache, not a heavy headache, but like a medium headache. I felt like that kind of... What happened today? Was there a fire in the area? Why is this area so off today? This is interesting. Let's see if we can have that pulsating balanced out. I gotta say, I hope nobody is in Site 7 tonight. Site 7 needs to rest. Can you overuse an area? It almost reminds me of the swimming pool in Cocoon. Yes, you can overuse an area. An area can get tired. So, no more pulsating in the head, but again, just tired, resting. I'm very curious of when we get to Big Spirit A and usually hangs out in section 7, I think, for both times. What we're going to find there, but let's not jump ahead. I'm going to guess he's like, if he's the watcher over, he's awake and holding the balance as best he can. And I bet when everyone else is better and every area is better and comes back to themselves, then this spirit will take a break. That's the kind of alpha it feels like. Alright, Area 4. Our spirit being was in Area 4 both times. Unsettled and then balanced the first time around. Felt at one with the area. Second time around. And focused and powerful. So I already felt Spirit B. Let's see if Spirit B is here once again and what Spirit B's area feels like. Area 4, the southeast. Alright, I don't know what's going on. This area needs a lot of work. It feels not, I was going to say very off balance, but let me speak more specifically. This is exactly what it feels like. You ever drive behind a truck and there's a big tank of water in the jug and it's going around a turn and you can see it. You can see into the tank and you can see the water in the tank and it makes a turn and the water's not moving like violently, but it's like whoosh, 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 and it's not like settled. It's kind of like, so the waves aren't happening. It's like one wave that's moving slowly, but it's off balance because it's going around a turn. That's what the energy of this area feels like. I almost can't tell if Spirit B is here because the energy's stronger than Spirit B, but my sense is that I feel Spirit B too, and Spirit B's trying to help the waves. So I'm going to jump in with Spirit B and everyone else and my spirit team and see if we can't do something about this area and have everything settled down. Because this area feels the worst so far. And I really want to know what happened today in this area. Site 7. What happened at Site 7 today? Around Site 7. Alright. That took a little while. And it's an area. It's not a spirit. Although I feel like areas do have their own spirits in them. Took a few minutes to balance out, but it's balanced. But I feel like if we walk away now, it doesn't stay balanced. So I'm waiting for the balancing to settle in, where I feel like it's almost like wet cement to dry cement. It's cement, but it's wet. It's not moving, but I want the cement to firm up a little bit before I leave this area. Once it stays balanced enough, I think Spirit B's got it from here. Oh, I'm glad I'm visiting today, and I'm glad I took a nap before this, because this is taking a little bit of energy. Normally when I did my work, I did, 1 or 2 people, not spirits and areas, and doing a report and a show at the same time. So it's something more than I'm used to. So Area 4 is good now, solid. All right. Area 5, the south. First time around, energy of area felt very calming, peaceful. I even said it felt like a communal space. I didn't feel any activity. Like, this was a place that felt to me like if you were having an off day, you just go and sit there and be calm, and it would give you what you needed to make you feel right and even up again. The second time around, it felt neutral. It felt spirit in my mind, size of an orange. It touched negative and purposeless feeling. Okay, so that to me says that Area 5 is fluid in nature. I wonder if there's water there. I don't know if that's related, but I did say fluid in nature. Because one time it feels very calming and peaceful, and I don't feel any activity. The second time it feels neutral, and I felt that spirit was in my mind. Like, as I opened to it more, it opened into my mind more, as if it never had experienced mind before in that way. And it was like, what is this? And it expanded as I let it expand. Yeah, and I felt like it was purposeless. Area 5, I could feel anything this time. Really. I could feel spirits, no spirits, and the energy can be anything. But based on what I'm feeling everywhere else, I imagine Area 5, if it's fluid in nature, it would feel like the other areas in some respect. Let's see. Going in on Area 5, the south. Yeah, it's fascinating. This area feels balanced, and I got the sense that it is following the lead of the area that was just balanced, because the energy feels similar in nature, except it's weird. I feel the energy in my mind to a certain degree. I don't feel any spirits there, no entities. The energy of the area I feel in my mind. What does that mean? What could that mean? I don't know, but I feel like it's good. I'm glad. As I go around, things are feeling calmer. This just feels peaceful, powerful, calm, not fluid though, just kind of steady. So I would say just being still, not necessarily even resting, definitely not sleeping, just being still and steady and enjoying the peace, balance, and calm that it feels. That's what this area feels like. And it's good. I'm glad I'm seeing a difference than what I saw in the other areas. That would make sense. This whole area is connected in some way. And so if one area next to it was just balanced, then it stands to reason that by osmosis, by connection, also benefit from that balance of its neighbor. All right. Area 6, the southwest. First time around, spirit presented like a wisp, but then shifted like a... Oh, this is where I first came across the trickster. Area 6. So, and then the second time around, subtle, neutral to positive area. So the energy was subtle, but it felt neutral to positive. So it was probably balanced feeling and maybe a little tingly, so not just calm and flowing without tingles. Spirit I just encountered... Oh, the spirit that was in my mind from Distance Visit 2. The spirit I just encountered from Distance Visit 2, the one that I felt in my mind, came with and felt more balanced. So this area just feels like a balanced area. The first time around, the trickster was hanging out. I didn't comment too much on the area because he kind of stole the show with his trick. But the second time around, subtle to neutral to positive. So he picked a good area to hang out in. Hey, maybe he came from some other realm, plane of existence, or area, and was just new to Area 6, and it was neutral to positive, and it had a positive effect on him. That's not hard to imagine. Moving to a area that you think is somehow better feeling to you, and it'll make you better. Moving to an area that's somehow worse feeling to you, and it'll somehow make you worse, I imagine, or have the ability to. Area 6, the southwest. Let's see what we find this time around. This area is resting. Subtle energy is before. Peaceful, calm. Yes, subtle energy, meaning I'm not really feeling the power of the area, but I'm feeling the energy below my feet, so that's why I get the sense it's land. And I don't get any activity, I don't feel energy anywhere else in my body, and it just feels like it's sleeping. To me, whatever's the most peaceful of the REM sleeps, the deepest one, that's what it feels like. Very peaceful. Good. Alright. Didn't feel any spirits there. Area 7, the west. Oh yeah. That's where I felt Spirit A, what I like to call the Sasquatch-like spirit in size and quality and power. Was there both times. Powerfully calm first time around, the area and the spirit. Powerful, balanced, calm, divine the second time I went there. Both the spirit and the area felt that way. So let's see how Area 7 does when most of its area neighbors are having an off evening. Let's see how Area 7 does. Going into Area 7, the west. Alright, this is the first time I don't feel Spirit A, the Sasquatch-like spirit here. This feels not subtle. Oh, I can easily feel the energy. It's powerful in that. It's not, I don't have to focus too much to feel the energy. Subtle energy, I have to focus to really read it. I don't have to try. I feel the energy without even trying. The energy feels balanced, and it feels a little tingly, like uplifting. So true to Area 7. Area 7 seems to try and set the tone for elevated vibrations for the rest of the place. And it's continuing to do that, but in a more toned down fashion. Probably, I imagine, if the other areas had a day or an evening, that it experienced the repercussions of that as well, but is managing and adapting very well. And where is Spirit A? I don't know. The narrative I can come up with, my hypothesis is, like when I do my work here, I shut down my physical sensations, I shut down my mind, I just try and merge with my spirit team, the intelligences, all that is good, healing. I try and merge with that and just add my energy to that, and whoever's in charge knows what to do with it. That's what I do. So it wouldn't surprise me that we wouldn't feel the Sasquatch-like spirit A here. Its best work in balancing and helping to keep the place balanced would come by merging with whatever is the healing highest vibration there. So it makes sense to me. This is my hypothesis anyway. Everything's a hypothesis. The closest we can get to facts is other people having real experiences through sensations, physical experiences, and putting their hypotheses together based on that, and those hypotheses matching other people's hypotheses. It's probably the closest we're going to get to fact on this stuff, in my opinion, until we ourselves know how to go between planes of existence while we're living. Oh, without even realizing it, I did what I did last time. I found myself going back to Area 7 to just enjoy it, to just be there. I realized I said some words, I can't even remember what I said, and I just went there without even thinking, I'm going there now. That's my everything wanted to go there. And again, if the energy feels divine, what do I mean when I say divine? Light. It makes me feel lighter to feel the energy. Lighter than I feel when I meditate on my own. Like even higher than that. So higher than I otherwise experience by myself. I'm labeling divine, you label it what you want. This energy is refreshing me. I was getting tired. This energy is refreshing me. It's like getting a drink of water. I'm going to take a break and take a drink of water, and then I'll continue. This is rejuvenating me. I have to get back to this area. This area is giving me more now than I gave it. All right. Very wonderful. Saying thank you. It's weird. I'm physically tired. I can feel that. But the energy in me isn't tired. The energy's trumping my physical feelings. It's like a bonus energy that will override which means I'll crash after this. But I'll take it. All right. I highly recommend, if you visit Site 7, that you go to Area 7. The Shangri-La of Site 7. And that's so cool, 7 and 7. Very cool. I did not plan that. I promise. Area 8 to Northwest. The first time I went to Area 8, felt like there was a tingly, energetic hole, like a portal, a doorway. Oh yeah, that's right. But then I went back the second time, that doorway wasn't there. Felt lima bean sized spirit in my mind. Felt confused. Oh, this felt like that other one from the second visit that I felt in my mind. Oh yeah, and then I brought him to his friend. Yeah, I remember that whole experience. So, first time around, felt like a doorway. Second time around, didn't feel a doorway, but felt a confused energy there. Anybody's guess what I'm going to feel this time. Do you have a guess? I don't have a guess. Now I'm going into Area 8. I thought I was seeing light, but my laptop is open. It tricks me. close my laptop. I was like, wow, that's a lot of light. And then I opened my eyes and realized my laptop's all bright in front of me. It's all right. Going into Area 8 again. I don't get a lot of eye strain, but that's the energy I'm feeling. Like, not from an entity, just from I feel the area. Oh, how do I know it's an area versus an entity? I said in a previous episode, sometimes I feel it below my feet versus kind of in the energy inside of me. This is how I feel like it's an area, because I remember I said the Sasquatch-like spirit, I named it that because it filled my room with energy. When I'm reading an area, it's like I mostly feel it, or the expanse of what I feel goes out far, like an area. And I wonder if in the future I can develop the ability to guesstimate. I'm feeling it goes this much this way, this much that way, by feeling that's probably something that'll have to naturally develop. That sounds exhausting to try and figure out. Yeah. But yeah, I reconnected. It's like my eyes are tired. If someone could come with a fun story as to why an area's in quotes eyes would be tired, I'd just be interested to hear if somebody had the spin on that. My brain is not populating any spin. Let me see if I can just help balance out the tired. And when I say balance out, there was like a slight pulsating I had in the area of my eyes. All right. What happened? What happened today? Everyone's a little banged up. Or was there some kind of celebration? And this is... Yeah, you know what? Why assume that something bad happened? Maybe there was some kind of crazy celebration. Maybe they were celebrating the full moon and they're all like hungover. Who knows? Yeah. So, now, the most exciting part. Let's get to it. This has been the most exciting for me. You might find some other parts were exciting, like one of the spirits that showed up often. But for me personally, if I had to call my fave, the middle, Area 9. Why? Well, in the first visit, I wrote overwhelming, powerful, yet easy and balanced energy area. Are there metals in the area, I said? Because think about how a tree would hold energy versus a piece of metal. Think of conductivity of electricity. So if metal conducts electricity really good, does it conduct other energies really good? Where a tree doesn't conduct electricity very well at all. So that's why I thought, like, is there some metal in this area? Because the energy felt so overwhelming, but it was balanced and powerful. And I remember saying I couldn't understand it. I remember being speechless. First roll around. Second time around, area feels otherworldly, intense, extremely powerful, positive, highly intelligent. Why did I get highly intelligent? Because I can tell when I'm experiencing energies and the information is coming out of the energy. I was experiencing this energy and I felt like there was information in there, but it wasn't coming out. How do I describe what I was feeling that made me think that? That may take a while, meaning it's not going to happen tonight. I think I'm getting better at feeling and interpreting energies. This one was kind of out of my realm, but I remember likening it to learning a new language, because I have learned different languages of energies of animals and spirits and other things. So I'm excited to now go back to the most powerful, overwhelming, and positive, intelligent area in all of Site 7. Area 9, the central area, the middle. Let's go back in and see what we feel this time. My energy is being held so deep and peacefully. So if everyone's resting, the rest order, so to speak, is coming from the center. And I remember one of the areas that I just did tonight saying, if you walked in that area, you might go to sleep. If you walk into Site 7, narcolepsy. Is that the thing where people just fall asleep? This area. No, I wasn't being held physically, but if I'm tuning into my emotions and trying to let them show me what they're feeling, in that state it was hard to come out of. I was being held like rest, still, like that. Very powerful area. Not a lot of mental activity going on because it itself is resting and sending out the rest order. It's like it's got like one eye half open, making sure that it's sending out the rest order and everyone's resting that they can. And if Spirit A draws its energy from anywhere or draws its energy from multiple places, I imagine it draws a good amount of energy from the center. Wow. So the center, the middle, Area 9 continues to impress me and fascinate me. And whether I go there physically or not, I will visit this place again some other time. All right, well, there you have it. Site 7. I'm going to write up my report, send it off to Tim, see what happens. I hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoyed doing it. If you have questions, comments, feel free to hit me up. TheSupernaturalExplorer at gmail.com. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at TheSupernaturalExplorer. Again, gonna distance visit Pandemonium hopefully tomorrow night. If I feel things there, I'm expecting to feel Sasquatch-like energies. But if I feel anything there of a powerful nature, I'm going to go there one day to acclimate myself to the area, take some pictures to Pandemonium, and then I'm going to return another night and hopefully connect with them energetically while I'm there to see what happens. That's the plan. So I'm not going to do as an extensive study as I did for Site 7. Site 7 was special. Site 7, I feel like Tim is studying. I'm hoping to cooperate with him to understand that and supernatural things in general better. So Pandemonium, I'm just going to check once. I just have to feel something once, and then I will go there. And so look forward to that in the next episode. I'll let you know what I feel. If I don't feel much, I'll start the show by telling you what I felt with Pandemonium and then go into the next thing that I will be covering. But Pandemonium will be mentioned either way next episode. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Till next time, peace.